She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it.
I don't know why we have to parse everything that this guy says so sternly.
Trump just called for someone's execution. No, this isn't a joke, and yes, Jon Stewart is freaking out. We're about to show you why the guy who used to make us laugh at politicians is now dead serious. Trust us, you won't believe what Donnie Diapers is up to this time. Do you recall how Jon Stewart's ridiculous Bush impressions used to make us laugh? Well, those were the days. Our favorite comedian is no longer laughing. People and times have changed. Stewart was the epitome of political comedy in the heyday of The Daily Show. He would make fun of Obama's dad jokes, make fun of Bush's silly facial expressions, and overall cheer us up. Now though, we're getting all the heebie-jeebies because he switched out his jester's cap for a serious face. What then took place? Donnie Diapers, our friend, happened. Initially, Stewart used Trump as just another joke. He would make jokes about the orange turd's small hands, his hair, and his passion for Twitter. I thought it was all fun and games. False. Stewart's jokes became more scathing as time passed. He was no longer merely mocking Trump's looks. He was drawing attention to the actual risks of having a reality TV personality in charge of the nation.
That's actually worthy of some real examination. And all the Republicans who have talked about having fun at Trump's rallies, I'm sure they'd express concerns about this type of rhetoric.
You know, when the guns are trained on her face.
Cheney! What are you doing with a Cheney?
It's similar to seeing your class clown start giving nuclear physics TED presentations out of the blue. You are aware of a problem. The worst part, though, is that Stewart's most recent response to Trump's antics is not only grave, but quite concerning. Eye-popping, jaw-dropping, holy crap shock is what we're talking about. And perhaps we should listen when the man who used to make a profession by making fun of politicians is this upset. What specifically did Grumpy Trumpy say that made Stewart change from a maestro of laughter to Chicken Little? Well, Buttercup, get ready to descend into the abyss of Trump's most recent word salad, and it won't be pretty, I promise you. But let's pause to appreciate the irony before we go on to that. Politics is no longer funny, according to Jon Stewart, who made a living by making us laugh at its ridiculousness. A part of you still wants to think it's all a joke, but you know it's serious, as when your amusing uncle suddenly tells you Santa isn't real. Have you ever been watching a scary movie and yelling at the characters to stay out of the dark basement? Prepare to feel that way about the politics of the United States. Not only is Trump's most recent verbal diarrhea stunning, but it is absolutely terrifying. What could he have said that would have upset even Jon Stewart? Let us establish the scenario. Liz Cheney was the target of our old friend Donnie Diapers' latest attack. Even a sailor would blush at what Trump said about Cheney, who is by no means a saint. He seems to be vying for the title of the most insane political remark ever made.
Comments like that, the repeated talk of the enemy within, from within, that have marked Trump's entire presidency of late, candidacy of late.
What gets us to the ultimate problem, which is this: is any of the shit Trump says real? How are we supposed to understand what's bullshit and what isn't?
What then did the orange turd say? People, hold on to your hats. In essence, Trump advocated for Liz Cheney's execution. Yes, you heard correctly. Carried out, that is, dead, lost, kaput. He seems to be trying out for the part of a cartoon villain, but this is real life, not a Saturday morning program. Trump is no longer just being Trump. It's insane on a whole new level. Do you recall when we felt his tweets were bad? The good old days were over. He's now acting like a wannabe tyrant by discussing the execution of political opponents. Furthermore, Trump's campaign attempted to dismiss it as fake outrage. Yes, because it's very acceptable political speech to recommend that someone should die. They seem to be living in an alternate reality where there are no repercussions for their statements. The worst part is that Grumpy Trumpy has already tried this scam before. When he was president, do you recall his suggestion to shoot protesters? He seems to have a fetish for violence or something. His new titles include Your Warrior and Your Justice. What comes next? Your Supreme Leader. Jon Stewart's panic is understandable. You can tell something's wrong when a man who used to make a profession by making fun of politicians is acting so gravely. It's similar to when your humorous uncle begins discussing doomsday preparations out of the blue. You can't help but wonder if he could be right.
Opportunity economy is going to function and how it's going to be paid for. Meanwhile, the standard for Trump is emotional vicinity.
In our country, we don't swear an oath to an individual or a political party. we take our oath to defend the United States Constitution.
Trump is making more enemies than he is golf trophies. Let's look at his list of hits. It's similar to Pokemon Go, except he's gathering adversaries rather than capturing adorable monsters. Who has been selected? To find out how many people have earned a place on Trump's bad list, let's play this perverse game of gotta threaten them all. When it comes to threatening people, our orange pal has been busier than a one-armed paper hanger in a windstorm. He seems to be hurling insults at random from a dartboard that has images of politicians on it. The worst part is that it's no longer simply his political rivals. Nope, Grumpy Trumpy is now betraying his old friends as well. What a twist in the plot. Let's look at a few of the fortunate recipients of Trump's insult lottery. Bolton, John. According to Trump, he is a real dope. Kinzinger, Adam, a whack job in the words of our ex-prez, who struggles with terminology. Adam Schiff, poor guy, his nickname is Watermelon Head.
I think the bigger problem is the enemy from within, not even the people that have come in and destroying our country. By the way, totally destroying our country.
You know, shocked by it. To hear this from the President of the United States saying that we shoot our fellow Americans in the streets of the nation's capital.
Donnie Diapers, really? Is it your best option? His insults are like he's rifling through a third-grade playground. But hold on, there's a trend. Have you noticed that Trump's go-to insults are as intricate as his hairstyle? Simple, sarcastic things are constantly involved. He seems to be competing to win the who can come up with the dumbest nickname at a game. And I can assure you that he is winning that game by a wide margin. How many people could Trump possibly have beef with? You may be asking yourself now. This statistic is going to make your head spin, so hold on to your MAGA hats, people. Our insulter-in-chief has threatened over 100 individuals whom he believes to be his adversaries since 2022. Yes, more than 100. He appears to be attempting to earn the title of most people ticked off in the shortest amount of time. As they say, words will never hurt you, but sticks and stones may break your bones. Apparently, someone neglected to inform Trump's attorneys of that, because his statements suddenly seem more like a one-way trip to the slammer than they do like harmless hot air. However, how precisely can trash talk become a difficult situation?
That's what they are, as hostages. They've been treated terribly. Unbelievable patriots, and they were unbelievable patriots and are.
Anyone who wants to be president of the United States who uses that kind of violent rhetoric.
Let's take a moment to be realistic. The most shocking thing is that the law doesn't find Trump's constant insulting remarks entertaining. Do you recall when Trump requested permission to shoot demonstrators? Indeed, it was a warning that Grumpy Trumpy might be going too far with his tough man persona. It wasn't just a terrible joke, but it's just Trump being Trump, right? You may be asking yourself now, buckaroo, wrong-o. The legal eagles are beginning to circle, but some people may dismiss his violent remarks as just another day in Trumpland. Furthermore, they have no intention of sharing a bucket of KFC with the orange turd. The truth is that we could get into trouble if we, as average Joe Schmoes, make threats. But when it's done by a previous president, that's a very different situation. A water gun and a fire hose both shoot water, but one will do far more harm than the other.
Tonight, I say this to my Republican colleagues who are defending the indefensible. There will come a day when Donald Trump is gone.
Apparently, it doesn't actually matter if the things he says are true. And if you try and dig down on the lies, he only gets liar.
Trump's threats against American people are a huge no-no. According to some bright-eyed legal types, Lady Liberty is not impressed, as if he's giving her the finger. Trump's political career might be severely ruined by this kind of rhetoric. I mean, running for president from a jail cell must be difficult, isn't it? This is where things get really crazy, though. In addition to making them uneasy, Trump's remarks are actually frightening them. According to a recent survey, 7 out of 10 Americans are experiencing anxiety or frustration in relation to the election. Trump seems to have made the entire nation into a huge stress ball. Is it possible that Donnie Diapers may be charged for his potty mouth? History indicates that it is feasible. Trump may be teetering on the brink of legality, according to some academics, and political threats have put people in jail before. The law doesn't seem to be flinching when he plays chicken with it.